These are the heavyweights among the seals. Each bull can weigh up to 2 tons. They're northern elephant seals, returning from as far as the Aleutian Islands in western Alaska to breed in California. Once they were nearly wiped out, but fortunately they have struggled back from the edge of extinction. Scientists from the University of California have studied elephant seals on Año Nuevo Island off the California coast to discover how these giants among their kind managed to recover from less than 30 survivors in 1890 to over 125,000 today. Año Nuevo is just off the mainland and only 110 kilometers from San Francisco, but between it and the coast runs a treacherous current. It's so strong, the lighthouse keepers finally abandoned the island to the sea and the seals. The scientists need to time their crossing to avoid the strongest tidal flows. In November, the few sheltered beaches are deserted until male California sea lions arrive to sprawl on the seaward rocks. They use the island as a feeding and resting base during their northward migration. The females remain further south. The smaller sea lions coexist peacefully on the beaches with the huge elephant seals when they first arrive. A sleepy bull can even make a good basking place. People rarely visit the island, so when a low-flying sightseeing aircraft passes nearby, the timid sea lions panic. Soon, more elephant seals arrive. The big bulls are the first to come ashore. They're graceful swimmers despite their bulk. Their streamlined and powerful bodies enable them to move through the water with ease. They hunt squid and fish, including eels, skate, rays, and small sharks. By now, in early December, they need to be well fed and fat. The bull elephant seal's fleshy proboscis, or trunk, gives the animal its name. While swimming, it is drawn back out of the way. Its only purpose is to indicate the age and social status of the bull, like the antlers of a stag. Once the bulls come ashore, they'll stay on the beach for between 3 and 4 months. And until the end of the breeding season, they won't eat. For every bull, all the other males are potential rivals. The dominant bulls are usually the biggest, fattest and most aggressive. This one, 5 meters long, weighs 2 tons at the start of the season. As more males arrive, the scientists start naming each individual. While the bulls doze, names are painted on them with thickened hair bleach. The labels will last until they molt in the summer. The writing must be done gently enough so the seal is not wakened. The names are chosen more or less at random. This one is December. Others are named for particular characteristics or after friends. The leader of the study group, Dr. Leboeuf, is researching into seals' voices. The bull's roar identifies him to other seals and informs them of his mood. An angry bull, despite his shape, can move surprisingly fast. More permanent than the bleached names, metal and plastic tags are fixed to the seal's hind flippers. Again, this is done while they sleep for obvious reasons. The only way to get the dropped tag punch back is to intimidate the 1-ton seal by standing tall and not giving away any ground. Once the bulls are tagged, Dr. Leboeuf allots each bull a place in a hierarchy, depending on how it behaves when challenged by others. Low-ranking bulls back down and move away when confronted by their superiors. Between evenly matched bulls, threats are not enough. The bulls fight for space and dominance. They want to reign supreme over as large an area of the beach as they can defend. At the end of December, the females are ready to give birth, and they start to come ashore. They generally settle around the dominant bulls. Sometimes one male can be surrounded by 300 cows. They are aggressive, even to harmless birds, perhaps because they feel vulnerable out of water. Even the most impressive beachmaster bull cannot dominate a harem of this size. and there are constant tussles with would-be intruders. The bull's fights for the right to mate can be vicious and just occasionally fatal. While the loser is being seen off, a young male has crept in amongst the females. By retracting his trunk, he tries to masquerade as a cow and steal a mating with a receptive female while the beachmaster is otherwise occupied. He doesn't get away with it for long. As soon as he starts to mate, he reveals his true identity. Immediately, he's challenged and driven away. Now that the females have been ashore for a week, more and more pups are born every day. As the gulls squabble over the afterbirth, the new pup takes its first breaths in a harsh world. Females try to keep their pups close to their sides. Those which stray can be in grave danger. Elephant seal cows produce large quantities of rich milk. The smell of food helps the newborn pup find the nipple. The pups are nursed for about 27 days and gain 10% of their body weight each day. By the time the females leave the beach, they will be half as heavy as they were when they arrived. Their pups, however, will have tripled their birth weight. But some of the youngsters will never leave the beach. If they get separated from their mothers, they find themselves in a hostile world. A yearling is curious, but can offer neither food nor protection. The pup's search for its mother is a battle for survival. Unrelated cows sniff the lost animal. If it's not their own, they usually bite it. About half the pups which die before weaning are bitten to death. The majority of pups stick close to their mother's side, but sometimes even this does not keep them safe. The bulls are oblivious to everything but ensuring that they father as many of next year's pups as possible. If a bull sees a rival approach one of his females, it will charge over to confront him. Anything in his way, including a newborn seal, is likely to be crushed. As long as the male doesn't roll over, this baby will survive, but up to 1 in 10 pups gets killed accidentally by the males, and there's another danger still to come. As the January storms sweep along the Californian coast, a combination of high tides and rough seas takes its toll of young elephant seals. Although they can stay afloat even at 2 weeks of age, they are not weaned for a month. If they're separated from their mothers, they'll starve, if they're not crushed or bitten to death first. During the last century, northern elephant seals were practically wiped out. They were slaughtered for their oil, which was boiled down to make fuel for lamps and to lubricate clocks. By 1922, there were only around 30 left on a small Mexican island. Fortunately, just in time, the Mexican government protected them, which allowed their recovery. This one has survived the storm, but it is doomed nonetheless. It's come ashore on the mainland of California, only a few kilometers from its mother, but it might as well be on the moon. In a bad year, up to 70% of elephant seal pups can die, although 15 to 20% is the norm. Even so, enough have survived since the 1920s for the population to increase to its present number of about 125,000. They have made an incredible recovery, and there are now 3 breeding sites on the Californian mainland. If they survive to adulthood, elephant seals can live a long time. A male can live 14 years, and the most successful beach masters can sire 300 pups during their lifetime. Only the strongest survive, so elephant seals need to be tough. Practice fights between immature males prepare them for future battles. To stay at the top, a bull must be ready to fight and win day and night for about a month. Although most fights are a ritual show of strength, when 2 top bulls challenge each other, the battle can be a bitter struggle. A bite to the chest looks vicious, but the bull's neck area is well protected with blubber and thick skin. The opponents try to seize each other's trunk-like nose. This causes intense pain and can irreparably damage their symbol of high status. This conflict lasted 45 minutes before the old beachmaster, exhausted from previous battles, finally gave in and left the females to the second ranking male. The winner now has the right to mate with any female coming into season, at least for as long as he can defend them. Elephant seals don't have any courtship behavior. An estrus female will mate with whichever bull is dominant during her receptive period. The bulls have no need to woo their mates. By making it to the top, they prove their worth as a sire for next year's babies. On their mother's extremely rich milk, the pups grow in 4 weeks from 38 to 135 kilos. By the time they're weaned, they're almost too fat to walk. They're on their own in the world now. Their mothers are already pregnant with next year's pups. During their early weeks, the pups stay in the shallows. Often, they must escape the unwanted attentions of the less successful subordinate bulls. The pups gather together in large groups. The colony has produced just over 200 surviving young this season. 4 or 5 years will elapse before these pups will themselves be ready to breed. Some of the males will never become large or strong enough to win their own female harems. Only the largest and toughest bulls father the future generations of the northern elephant seal, a race of heavyweights which has now been saved from the threat of extinction.